Dr. Harshini by explaining her profile in a nutshell. Dr. Harshini is an associate professor in the Department of English at Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. She holds a doctorate in English literature from Presidency College, Chennai. She has been active in the research field and has contributed a lot to the development of research, mainly through her language skills. And she has been instrumental in shaping up many theses and journal papers. She was previously the head of the documentation and the recruitment center at the Advanced Research Institute, which is a premier wing of the university. She is presently guiding a few research scholars, and she is also a DC member in two prestigious institutions in the city. She has presented and published nearly 30 papers at the national and the international level and edited and proofread more than 100 multidisciplinary theses, synopses, and research papers for academicians belonging to national and international institutions. She has also assisted many patents at the national and international level projects, and many of her works have been successfully acknowledged and has a good reach among the scholars. And she is also a content writer for many subjects and takes keen interest when it comes to writing in any form. She has been invited as a chief guest to many programs to voice on the importance of language and communication skills. Her most recent talk was on the topic avant-garde strategies towards enhancing LSRW skills, which has garnered more than 2.3K likes and received wonderful feedback from participants in YouTube. So it's indeed a pleasure, ma'am, to host you. And I think you're really a befitting person to talk about this topic on language because you have a lot of grounding and experience in the area in terms of, looking at different kind of patents, projects, theses, and dissertations. I'm sure the session will be immensely helpful to the participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. So, a warm good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am. You are audible. Absolutely clear.
Okay. It's my pleasure to be connected with you all this beautiful evening and on the final day, second session of this 1 week online short-term training, STTP, on Research Essentials in English Language and Literature, organized by Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. I express my warmest gratitude to the management of Crescent for providing me with this wonderful opportunity of sharing what I know on the subject. I especially congratulate the organizing team of this STTP for the wholehearted efforts they have taken to bring such a wonderful program to light. I'm absolutely certain that all the participants connected here would have carried quite a lot of resourceful information from the excellent resource person who shared their expertise so far. I should mention Dr. Vijay Kumar, who is the backbone behind this entire event. He's such a humble personality, and it's really a great thing to be associated with him. So now let me start my presentation on using language tools for language correction, using online tools for language correction. Okay, coming to my presentation now. Let me share my screen. So the screen visible? Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. So this is the topic for today, using online tools for language correction. So language problem is a universal problem faced by many research scholars, and if you are also facing it, you're not alone. So don't worry about it. This presentation is going to help you on what are the tools available and how you can overcome your language errors. Okay. So now first let me start with the introduction. Language is an important facet of communication.
Excuse me, sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Could you please increase the volume, ma'am?
Yes, please. Am I audible? Clear?
Could you increase the volume, ma'am?
Okay. See, language is even if you are unable to hear my voice, with the help of the sentences, you can understand. That is why I have made my presentation clear and comprehensive. Okay, so you can easily understand what I'm trying to say through this presentation. Okay.
We can
So
hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, we can hear you. Please proceed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So language is an important facet of communication. You all will agree with me that it's an important facet of communication. Whatever is needed to be delivered to the audience can be done only through impeccable communication, be it spoken or written. So this presentation is an earnest attempt to help language learners, researchers understand the various online tools that help in producing flawless language in research writing. So this is basically a presentation where I'll be showing you the various tools which go into assisting you during your research writing process. Okay. So now coming to the next slide. So what do we mean by language errors? What are the types of language errors? So language errors can be broadly classified into 6 types. Okay, they are grammatical errors or usage errors. The first one, grammatical errors or usage errors, which means faulty, unconventional or controversial usage such as subject-verb agreement. If you see most of the research papers, thesis, the problem is only with subject-verb disagreement or wrong use of verb. Okay, inappropriate verb tense. So this is the major problem in most of the research papers, research works, which I have seen so far. Okay, then the second one is misspellings, wrong use of spellings. Okay, then typographical errors, that is mistakes made in the typing process. When you type, you make slight mistakes like simple duplication, the letter gets repeated, then omission, maybe the letter.
Excuse me, ma'am, Dr. Hashini, ma'am. Actually, we would love to hear your voice more audible, and most of the participants feel that the voice is so feeble. So if you can keep your mic, of course, near your mouth, we will be more happy and it will be more informative for us. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Now am I audible?
Somewhat, ma'am, but please make sure that it is more audible because the presentation is so informative, so participants didn't want to miss it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So see, language errors can be broadly classified into 6 types. Now am I okay?
Somewhat, ma'am. Somewhat, ma'am. You can check the laptop audio also. Sound, if it is 100%, if you can do that, that will be helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you. So
Thank
now the thing is, we have grammatical errors or usage errors, that is faulty, unconventional or controversial usage such as subject-verb disagreement or an inappropriate verb tense. Okay, the wrong use of verb in the wrong place, then wrong use of preposition. All these will lead to grammatical errors. Then misspellings, wrong use of spelling errors. Then typographical errors, that is mistakes made in the typing process. When you type fast, there is likely that mistakes would occur, like simple duplication, the letter gets repeated, then or a letter gets omitted, or transposition or substitution of a small number of characters. So all these are typographical errors, okay, which also form a part of language errors. Then factual errors, mistakes made in specifying fact when you want to say a fact in a manner which is in your mind, but when it comes as a sentence, it goes to a wrong meaning. Okay, that one. Logical fallacies, that is errors of reasoning, and then faulty punctuation. Punctuation errors like wrong comma splice, then hyphen, wrong use of hyphen. Then I would see in most of the research work that the parentheses are in the wrong place, brackets are in the wrong place. Okay, then they will be it will be in a running sentence and they will add a paragraph in between and then they will leave it just like that. So all these form a part of language errors. Okay, so this is what language errors and its types. Now let's go for the next slide. So let's understand what language checker tools are, an overview. Okay, so language checkers work by scanning. When you upload a transcript, typescript, it scans your document. It scans your document and it provides immediate feedback on grammar, spelling, and punctuation errors. Okay, so that is how language checkers mostly work. Then language checkers can point out issues such as subject-verb agreement, as I told you in the previous slide, grammatical errors like subject-verb disagreement, then split infinitives, then double negatives, run-on sentences, and incorrect use of prepositions. All this, the language tools will identify and it will tell you where you are making mistakes. Okay, if the checker finds an error, it will explain the grammar rule. Some tools have that option. They will explain why you have made the mistake and what option can be used. Okay, then, and may also offer a solution which the user can accept or ignore. It's up to you. You can accept or you can ignore. Okay, the checkers also highlight spelling errors and words that may have been confused. Okay, so whatever is, if you feel like something you're getting confused, then it will highlight and it will show you, and it's up to you whether you need to change it or you need to have it in the same way. Then some grammar checkers also offer feedback on style and vocabulary usage. If you go for Grammarly, Grammarly will definitely tell you the style which you have to use and then about the vocabulary usage and all these things. Then, but style is actually very difficult to check because each has their own style of writing. Each has his or her own style of writing. Okay, so style is difficult to check because the intricacies of language require extensive artificial intelligence, but some language checkers also claim to have this capability. Some language tools which are more advanced, they claim to have this kind of artificial intelligence, maybe some intricacies of language. And then, for example, some checkers will flag sentences that are written in the passive voice. See, actually, most of the research words go in the active form rather than passive. So if you have used a lot of passive sentences, it will point out and it will tell you to change to active. Okay, but it's up to you whether, it's up to you and your guide whether you need to change it to active or passive. It is just a suggestion offered by the online tool and it's up to you whether you can accept or ignore. Okay, then hence many language checkers actually claim to do more than just check grammar. Okay, so they do more than just checking grammar. An important point to note is that language checkers do not claim to teach grammar. Please understand that they don't teach grammar. They just assist you in the process. Okay, and it is up to you whether you need to accept or ignore, as I told you previously. Okay, so this is how the language checkers work. So now let's go for the next slide. So what are the limitations? Of course, there are certain limitations on using such online language tools, and I'm going to discuss some of the limitations which most of the
excuse me, madam.
face.
Excuse me, madam.
Sir,
Madam, kindly share the screen, madam. Kindly share the screen.
share the screen.
Screen. Yes, madam. Yeah, your PPT is not visible.
Excuse me, sir. It's visible, sir.
Shared already.
It's shared already. Please pin Hashini Pushothaman.
It's not.
So it will be visible.
Ma'am, you're sharing.
It's not moving.
It's visible, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, please go ahead, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. So now it's okay now.
It's visible. It's visible, ma'am.
Okay. So online language tools limitations. What are the limitations to using online language tool? There are of course many language tools, and what are the limitations while using them? That is what I have discussed here. Like any technology, online language tools to have certain limitations, and these are well accepted. Everyone knows that. Okay, it is not that one person knows and the other person does. No, it's a common problem faced by all users. Okay, researchers have established that most that is computer assisted language learning programs use natural language processing NLP with a focus on syntax and few address semantic, pragmatic and contextual problems. So this like that. Similarly, online language correction tools may also largely ignore the role of sentence construction. Okay, when actually the online language tools, they mostly focus on style, grammar, then verb usage, then subject verb disagreement, but they don't concentrate on sentence construction. So if you make a mistake in sentence construction, then these online tools will definitely not help you. Okay, so that's biggest limitation in using this kind of tools. Okay, often regarding the differences between various constructions such as active and passive voice, as I told you in the previous slide, maybe use of more use of active voice and less use of passive voice, and sometimes in the research work, people use more passive sentences than active, which the language tools would point out. Okay, so this one. Then, however, that's what they have said in the next one. However, a researcher may want or be required to write in passive form. Okay, for example, maybe in the method section, they have to write only in the passive form. So even if the online tool points out that it is mostly in passive, you just can ignore. Okay, you can ignore and you can go on with however your research work demands, whatever the research work demands or whatever your guide or anyone tells you. So therefore, while some online language correction tools will warn the user, will warn you definitely about the occurrences of passive voice, the decision whether to use passive voice or not hinges on what the writer wants to do in the particular context. So it depends purely on the writer whether to use passive voice or whether to use active voice. It's up to you only. Nobody can tell anything. Even though the grammar tool says that it's more of passive than active, it is up to you whether to decide whether to use active or passive. Okay. Then another opinion of researchers is that erroneous sentences produced by language learners are quite hard to analyze structurally, even with the current state of art online language correction tools. As I told you before, when you make a mistake in the sentence, when the grammar and everything is correct, but when the sentence is actually wrong part of the research work, this online tool is definitely not going to help you in the process. It is going to say that it's correct. Okay, so that is the biggest limitation in using this kind of language correction tools. Even if it is the state of the art advanced grammar tools, it doesn't help you in this particular context. Okay, so hence researchers who are in most need of language and grammar support may receive faulty feedback. So you may receive faulty feedback and suggestions from such tools, so which you cannot adopt in your research work. So these are certain limitations when using. So you cannot entirely depend on these tools. Okay, you have to use your own language skill. That's what I want to tell you. Then now, what language learners should know? It's a reality check. You all have to understand one thing. See, language learners, researchers should mainly understand that the key to effective writing and speaking is only through extensive reading and listening. Period. Again, I'm repeating, language learners, researchers should mainly understand that the key to effective writing and speaking is only through extensive reading and listening. You have to read extensively and you have to listen to lots of videos which are maybe if you go for YouTube or in television, you'll find people speaking very good English. So if you listen, you will know how to converse better. Okay, and then when you be reading continuously, you will know it will give a lot of inputs to your brain, and you can also learn how to write effectively. So there is no magic way or shortcut towards achieving this. So even though there are thousands of language tools, it will not help you unless and until you have a thorough knowledge on the subject. Okay, any tool would only be an assisting factor. Whatever tool it is, it will be only an assisting factor in the process, and the masters are actually you, the learners, who can interpret what is right and what is wrong. So it's left to you to interpret what is right and what is wrong, even though there are thousands of language tools available. So this is the very, very important point which you have to keep in mind. Okay, and you being language learners, you have to definitely take this seriously. Okay, English is a language that gets its profound beauty through the minds of ardent learners, researchers, and many examples can be seen through great novelists, poets, dramatists, and so on. Okay, so English is a language actually that gets its profound beauty only through the human brain. The more we think, the more we can generate. Okay, no online tool or anything can help you in this. Okay, it's actually a result of your continuous thinking, continuous practicing of the language, that you can get a lot of beautiful things which you can implement in your research writing. Okay, human brain is a valuable asset, and all these online tools have also been developed through such sprightly brains. So all these online tools have been developed only by human brain. So you can understand how valuable the human brain is. Okay, so perfect writing is a result of continuous self-improvement. You have to work hard to improve yourself, and no tool can help you. The tools are only going to assist you in the process, but you are going to be the master. You have to decide what is right and what is wrong. Okay, of course we all make mistakes, and the tools can help. Maybe they can offer suggestion on what is right and what is wrong, but we have to decide the final thing. That is what we should know exclusively as language learners. Okay, then let's go for the next slide. So now coming to the online tools, now because I've told you everything, you need to understand what are the most popular online tools for language correction. Okay, here are some popular online tools that help, that assist in language correction. The first one is Grammarly, and then the second one I've given in the order of importance. Okay, Grammarly, because if you see Grammarly is used by almost most of the people, most of the researchers use Grammarly, and not only that, they have they advertise it in such a way that people are prompted to use it. Even if you open Dupli Checker, Grammarly icon pops up. Okay, so automatically people will be influenced with it. So that's why Grammarly always takes the first hand. Okay, then Grammarly, then we have Hemingway Editor, then Dupli Checker, then Ginger, After the Deadline, Spellchecker.net, Online Correction, Paper Rater, Language Tool, GrammarCheck.me, Spellchecker Plus, Correct English. There are also many tools, but I have highlighted only a few. Okay, and I have given you details of how these tools work. Okay, now first let's go for Grammarly. See, Grammarly is the most popular and widely used tool for any grammar, spell check, and punctuation issues. Okay, it's almost all the language tools have this kind of feature, but because Grammarly gives a lot of advertisements, okay, people are prompted to use this tool first. Okay, all over the world, more than 4 million people, as I told you, 4 million people, students, teachers, writers, bloggers, script writers, and business professionals, they all use this online grammar and plagiarism checker tool for daily writing purpose and proofreading of their articles. Okay, so it is available in free and premium services. So free, you can just download it as this and you can start using it. Whereas the premium tool, you have to pay for it. You have to pay, and it is more useful than free grammar checker proofreader tool. Okay, For example, Grammarly Premium comes with a plagiarism checker and provides vocabulary enhancement suggestions to improve writing. So these are the features of premium version which you cannot find in free version. Okay, when you pay and use, you will find all these advanced features. Okay, so Grammarly can find for more number of errors which Microsoft Word or other text editors can't do. Okay, you cannot find all these features in other Microsoft Word or other text editors. So that's some special feature of Grammarly. Okay, the free user can also be downloaded in MS Word software and Chrome extension in order to easily check grammar on browsers. This is a free version. You can easily download and you can start using it. You can upload your document and see what are the changes the software has made for you, and you can accept or reject it. It's up to you. Okay, so this premium version you have to pay and you have to use. So now the next slide. So this is how Grammarly works. See, actually when you install, the page will pop up like this. You have to upload your document here, and whatever the document you have uploaded, it will display here. Okay, it will display here in as this document. Whatever the document you have uploaded, unless you delete, it will be remaining there only. Okay, so that is what this is how Grammarly so thing is. Then now next, see this the inside version. Maybe when you once you upload the document, whatever is inside is showcases. See, actually when you highlight, this is the document which I have uploaded. Okay, to show you people what kind of mistakes we make. Then see this part of, so here you can see off, they have struck off. It seems that preposition use may be incorrect here. There is no use of this preposition off here. Okay, so that's what its application. Remove the space. Then as change preposition. Then to change preposition. So it offers suggestion on how you can do better. Okay, but it doesn't focus on sentence structures, only grammar, and then it gives the overall score see performance, then goals, then correctness, clarity, how your paper is, and all this it will show you. Okay, maybe premium version can show advanced features, but I have displayed only the free version. Okay, when you pay and use the premium version, maybe you can go for better things like, as I told you, plagiarism checker and vocabulary enhancement. All these you can find in this one premium version. Vocabulary enhancement is nothing but, see, if you have used one word, and it will just suggest what other words you can use instead of that to make your writing more beautiful. Okay, so that's how it works. This is how Grammarly works. Okay. So now the next thing is the Hemingway editor. So this tool is designed to improve writing style and make it as much clear as possible. Okay, it makes colored highlights to indicate long or very complicated sentences. As soon as you upload your document, it highlights. Wherever there are faulty sentences, it highlights using different colors. Okay, that is, it instantly uses colors to show when the writing shows too many adjectives. When it shows too many adjectives, sentences that are complex and hard to read, phrasing that has simpler alternatives, and use of passive voice. If you have used passive voice, it will tell you, do you change it to active, something like that. Okay, so this is how Hemingway editor works. And in the next slide, you will be seeing this. See, this is how the Hemingway editor, where see, you can see the highlights. So if you see the highlight in yellow, this orange color, it means that the app highlights lengthy complex sentences and common errors. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it. So if you have used a long sentence, it will highlight in yellow and it will tell you that you have to shorten it. Okay, you have to shorten the sentence so that it will be more readable. Clear? Then if you see a red highlight, you see the same way, however is highlighted here, in the same way you will see in the Hemingway editor also. So if you see a red highlight, Your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow it meandering splitting logic. So what you have tried to say actually will be lost if you're using a much complicated sentence. So this color highlight suggests you to split it into two so that and use it in a simple way so that readers can easily understand. Okay, then you can utilize a shorter word in place of a purple one. Mouse over them for hint. So this purple one, instead of using the word utilize, you can make it a shorter one so that people can easily understand. Okay, then adverbs and weakening phrases are helpfully shown in blue. So if there are adverbs or weakening phrases that doesn't add much beauty to the sentence, it is highlighted in blue. Okay, so get rid of them and pick words with force, perhaps. Then phrases in green have been marked to show passive voice. So if it is highlighted in green, it shows that you have used passive voice instead of active. So this is how Hemingway editor works. It will be very useful. As soon as you upload your document, it will highlight in various colors, and these are the colors which have whatever I've showed you here. It shows what kind of errors the sentences have, and it is up to you whether you need to change it or leave it just like that. Okay, so this is how Hemingway editor works. Then the next we go for duplicate checker. See, this is a free plagiarism checker that only requires to sign in to use all of his features. You just need to sign in and use all of his features. Just have to log into the page and you can start using its features. It is completely free and available 24/7. Ready whenever it is needed. Whenever you need it, you can use it. This tool helps to avoid plagiarism, which becomes a personal assistant, meaning that you no longer may require hiring an assistant to check the article for originality. Okay, because it is online and completely free, it can be used on any device as ever needed. You can use it in any device, okay, laptop, phone, or whatever it is. Then duplichecker.com has these ways. So copy and paste the text into the search box. There will be a search box. You have to copy paste the document, okay, and then with a maximum of 1,000 words. There is a limit. You can upload only 1,000 words, okay, per text, and it will highlight what are the mistakes you have made in the particular paragraph. Then or upload document or text file using the choose file button. Just like Grammarly, you can upload your document and it will show you. But that's a limit. Maybe when you go for a pro version, maybe you can upload a very lengthy document. I'm not very sure about it. Okay. So this is how duplichecker pages. So you can either you can type the word sentences. You can just copy paste it in the box provided, or you can just upload your document and it will come to this box and it will show you where the mistakes are. Okay, you can use all these options like spell check, change merge words, MD5 generator, word counter, change text case, image to text, paraphrasing tool. All these features are available in this kind of tool which you can use. It is completely free and you can use it, okay, whenever you need it. So this is how duplichecker works. Then the next we go for Ginger. This tool helps in correcting misplaced semicolons, comma splices, or other punctuation errors. So see, punctuation errors are very, very, the correct use of punctuations are very, very important in research writing. When you use the wrong punctuation, it leads to totally wrong meaning. Okay, so you have to see that you put the correct punctuation, and this kind of online tool will aid you greatly in the process. Okay, so this is a beautiful tool where you can find out where you have made mistakes in punctuations like comma splices, then whether you have used the hyphen in the wrong place or whether you have used brackets in the wrong place. All this will highlight and it will tell you. This all-in-one communication tool cooperates with all devices, so one can be sure that any messages sent have proper phrasing and impeccable grammar. Okay, So if one needs to make sure emails, texts, and documents are perfect before sending them out to the world, before you want to send your document to a final thing, you can go for Ginger and you can upload your document and see what are the mistakes you have made, and it will easily highlight the mistakes and it will help you to change it also. Okay. It's equipped with grammar checker to call out any spelling or syntax errors, a built-in dictionary. It has also a built-in dictionary, which many tools would be lacking. Okay, to ensure proper word usage, a sentence rephrasing tool to find alternate methods of expression, and a translator that can convert your words into 50 different languages. Okay, so these are all special features available in Ginger, which is not found in any other apps. Okay, Ginger will even read your text back to you. You also have the option of making the app read whatever you have written, so that when you read, you will know how to change it or where you have to change it. So you can make sure it sounds good as spoken aloud. When the readers read, they will need to feel it good. So this Ginger software will read out the text to you, and you can easily understand where you have to change and where you have to leave it just like that. Okay, so this is an advanced tool which you can opt for. So this is how the software, the tool looks like. So Ginger, so you can maybe you can type your doc or copy paste it here, and you can type click Ginger it. It will highlight and show what are the mistakes you have made. Okay, it also shows what is the preposition, what is the verb. All this will be explained. Okay, if you don't know what is preposition, maybe you can open that and it will explain what is preposition and how you have to use preposition and all this. Okay, so this is how Ginger works. Maybe you can, if you go for pro version, then you will have more advanced features. Okay, this is a premium free version which I've shown you. So you have to upload your document, or you type copy paste it here, and you just press Ginger it. It will help you find out what mistakes you have made in the text. Okay. Then after the deadline is also an app where it's another free grammar check website to check writing papers. One can go to the website and just enter the details of writing on the given box and press the check writing button. You just have to upload and you have to just click on the check writing button. Okay, ADD helps to find complex phrases and suggest simple ones. Just like Dupli Checker, it will help you to analyze complex sentences and ask you to go for simpler ones so that it will be more readable. Okay, then locate passive voice. Almost all tools have that. This also has. Then root out hidden verbs, also called abstract nouns, nominalization. Then search for redundant phrases which you have repeated. Okay, then maybe example is past history. It will show that past is not necessary. History alone is enough. History itself means past. So it will highlight the redundant phrases and suggest what to eliminate. Then find cliches and base language, and then find confused words like a, am, it, it's, they, to. All these you can find. Then identify repeated words. If you have repeated the word, it will help you to identify that you have repeated the word and you can change it. Then detect auxiliary verb agreement errors, spot determiner agreement errors, then ascertain wrong verb in infinitive phrases. All these forms a part of after the deadline software. Okay, so this is how the tool works. So you can see if you can go whichever option you want, you can just click on and you can go for it. Maybe if you want to download the Chrome version, or if you want to download in Firefox or whatever it is, you can download and you can start using it. Okay, it is just similar to all other tools which I have told you so far. Then next is Spell Checker Net. This app is available in American English, British English, and 24 other languages. It includes more than 1 lakh entries to enable users have the power to find more syntax errors, misused words, and punctuation errors. Same thing. Okay. So with this free spell checker and grammar checker, one can avoid simple and complex errors and create error-free text with confidence. Okay. So you can be more confident when you use this kind of spell checker net. Whether it is complete research paper or important business document, this tool can help avoid common mistakes, detect unnoticed errors, and help one become a better writer. So it will help you to become a better writer. Checking grammar and spelling are the last and most important steps to creating a well-crafted document. So finally, even though you have given a lot of information, the final thing you have to do is to check grammar and spelling. Okay, so that is how a well-crafted document looks like, and these tools will help you in the process. Okay, so this is how the spell checker app opens. See, if you type the word, however, it will highlight in red and show you that you have made a mistake. Okay, it will give you the correct spelling. However, EVR, something like that. Okay, so lots of options are available. When you go inside, you can slowly identify and you can use it according to your needs. Okay. Then online correction, this is also one kind of app where it's a free grammar and punctuation checker and corrector to find spelling as well as basic grammar and stylistic mistakes in English text. Okay, so you see this is how the onlinecorrection.com works, where you can copy paste your document in the box provided, and it will highlight, okay, what all the mistakes you have made in different colors, and accordingly you can change it. Okay, but the result is up to you. If you want to change, you can change. Otherwise, if you feel it is correct, you can just leave it like that. It is just a tool to assist you in writing process. Okay, then next we have Paperator. See, this Paperator tool includes multiple options and checks grammar and punctuation to the fullest. So this is also one kind of tool similar to other online tools which I have said so far. Okay, so now this is how the browser looks like. You can paste your text here, or you can even use this upload file version option, where you can upload the document and you can see what are the mistakes you have made through this highlight. Okay, if it is too many mistakes, the color will change, similar to Grammarly. Okay, then you have to type all these important information, and based on that it will analyze your text, and it will maybe if you are a student, accordingly it will help you. If you are a researcher, accordingly it will help you. It's like that. Okay, then language tool. So language tool is another software for checking grammar, punctuation, and online proofreading for 20 other languages. Okay, it has so many other features like enhanced grammar, punctuation, and style checking, up to 40,000 characters per text field, then suggestions to improve style and tone. All these things you have in this language tool. See, if I think I have to go a little bit faster because time is flying. Maybe this PPT will be shared to you and you can slowly go through this. I have clearly highlighted everything. It will be very useful for you later on. Okay. So this is how the language tool writing assistant works. See, if you have given the sentence like this, you can, it tells you, gives you the option. Consider replacing the phrase with a strong adjective, terrified. Instead of using very afraid, you can use the word terrified. He was terrified of the consequences, like that. Okay. Then next you have Grammar Check Me. So Grammar Check Me is also a free online grammar checker and web application that lets to check grammar, spelling, and writing style. Okay, this is how the tool looks like. You can check your text by copy pasting it in the box provided, and you can find out what mistakes you have made there. Okay, then the next one is Spell Checker Plus. It's also similar to the ones which I have said so far. These are all simple tools. Okay, then next we have Correct English. That's also a browser tool which can correct writing mistakes by checking for contextual and spelling errors, word substitutions, and it has 63,000 advanced grammar rules. So lots of grammar rules are available. It will help you to fine tune your resume, email, social media posts, and much more. So this app, it works beautifully for you. And this is how the browser looks like. you can go inside and you can check everything. Okay, what are the features available, and based on your needs, you can use it. Then now, just because I have completed all the outline tools which I have known so far, I am coming for the next thing, editing and proofreading. It's not an online tool. Don't mistake it. It's my suggestion for you. Okay. So editing and proofreading. See, when beginning to edit or proofread text, start with larger problems. See, you might be facing problems in the text mainly. Okay, maybe in the subject. Focus on that first and then narrow it down to go for grammar, spelling, typographical errors and all this. Okay, you have to focus on in broader terms, you have to focus on your text, and then you have to narrow it down to simple mistakes which you have made, so that the text looks beautiful, the research works look beautiful. After you have edited for content, structure and quality, move on to proofreading for grammar. Finally, you can go for grammar. The main thing is the subject content. You have to focus more on, and then you can go for grammar check-in. And with the help of the tools available, you can find out what mistakes you have made, and you can go for it. Then, see, when you edit your document, you have to prepare a checklist. Okay, you have to check whether the content is accurate, suits the purpose of the project, and follows all strategies. Whether your title is enriching, informative, and engaging. Whether the page is formatted according to the needs. Then whether you have a thesis statement or main point to your writing. Whether you have an introduction, whether you have a conclusion. See, all these are very, very important. Prepare a checklist for editing and proofreading. It will finally, you can tick one by one, and it will be very easy for you when you submit, before you submit to your guide. Okay, then I have transitions between my paragraphs. I have covered all necessary points for my topic. All necessary information needed for my audience to understand my text is provided. All paragraphs have one subject. You have to make very sure that your entire thesis focuses on one subject, and you should not divert your subject. That's very, very important. Okay. Then all paragraphs are clear, easy to understand by the readers. Then see, you are not the only person who is going to read your work. Okay. There are so many people who are going to use your research work. So you have to be very, very careful when you are writing. Then I have eliminated unnecessary words. So all these you have to make clear, prepare a checklist, and you have to make sure that it helps you in your research work. Checklist is very, very important. Then proofreading checklist. When you proofread, read through your text looking for easy to find errors such as typos and correct them. Okay. Then focus more on specific errors. Take extra time to look for errors that you make frequently, such as comma mistakes. See, as far as I have noted, comma, the wrong use of comma is what makes most of the research papers wrong. Okay, the sentence construction goes wrong because of the wrong use of comma. Okay, there will be a lot of disturbance when reading the sentence because of wrong place of comma. You have to be very, very clear when you are using such kind of punctuation, and definitely the tools which I have given you so far will help you in this process. Okay, because punctuation is a common problem faced by even the experts. Okay, you're not alone. So you can definitely use the tool to assist you in the process. Okay, then you have to check for typos, fix spelling errors, paragraphs, whether you have indented the paragraphs correctly, then you have followed the guidelines as stated by the your guide or MLA handbook or something like that. Okay, verify that any names or strange spellings are accurate. Then check for sentence fragments. Then you see, maybe when you are using the sentence, you will stop it before the sentence gets completed. You will put a full stop. So you have to see that you have completed the entire sentence. For example, a person will start with as and he will finish it even before the sentence ends. Okay, so that will lead to grammatical mistakes. Okay, so this and all you have to remember and you have to read. And of course, the tools will help you. if you don't know about this kind of sentence fragments, definitely the online tool will help you, and it's up to you whether to accept it or reject it, and even your guide or anybody else will help you in the process. Okay. Then whether your subjects and verbs agree. See, subject-verb agreement is a common problem faced by most of the researchers, and you have to make sure that the subject and verb agree with one another. Okay. Then check quotations for proper formatting. Then check colons and semicolons. No comma errors. All final punctuations are correct. Then I have not overused ellipses or exclamation point. Then reread any long or complex sentences for hidden grammar errors. Then I have read the text front to back. You have to read from front to back and then from back to front, so that you are entirely satisfied with the work. I proofread the whole day. Before you give it to somebody else, you have to have the satisfaction that you have done better. Okay, the rest you can leave it to your guide or to whomever you have given your thesis to, thesis or paper or whatever it is. Okay, you have to be satisfied first. So you have to proofread your document again and again before you go for the submitted to finally. Then I have almost come to the last slide. So tips for effective research writing. See, you have to address your arguments in one paragraph or throughout the body of the work, depending on the subject and length of the argument. Okay. Then argument should be presented in a coherent manner. It has to follow a coherent fashion. Okay. Then it likes transitional phrases to make the workflow cohesively. That is, you can use words like furthermore, however, similarly. It will add more beauty to the work. Then each point of argument should be supported by factual evidence gathered. Okay, you have to support it with evidence. That is why you use bibliography. Then most of the work should be your own argument. Don't please see that you don't copy. Most of it should be your own argument, but each point should have a few pieces of supporting evidence in the form of citations and quotes. Okay, then balance own information, citation and quotes. You have to see that you have a proper balance between your information, citations and quotes, rather than having all one type of information. Rather, you have to perfectly balance. Okay, see that everything is related to one another. Okay, then great research works are built on existing information on the topic. See, whatever people have done so far, you're going to go for an extension of the previous research work. So you have to see that you make it as much beautiful as possible, and see that you have given a whole lot of new information which no one else has analyzed so far. Okay, most research works are assigned well in advance of deadline. So you will have enough time. Okay, nobody will ask you to write a research paper and submit it the next day. You definitely have enough time, but it's up to you whether you use the time properly. You have to start early and stick to the deadline. When your guide says your research PhD is about 4 years, you have to see that you complete it within 4 years and not extend the time. Okay, if you extend, then it will be an additional burden for you. Okay, you have to work hard as possible, and you have to complete it before the deadline. It will be easy for you as well as for people, for maybe your guide or anybody else. Then the length of research work will often be dictated. Your teacher will dictate you the length of research work, but you have to see that it is proportionate to the amount of research required. It has to be related to one another. Okay, so these are the tips for effective research writing. Then finally, coming to the conclusion, many researchers, or rather ardent students of the online tool, suggest that there is still a lot of improvement to be undertaken in the online editing tools. Of course, there are lots of improvements that has to be undertaken by the developers. Specifically, according to them, most of the tools have failed to identify sentence structure errors. As I told you before, if you have made a mistake in sentence structure, this tool is not going to help you identify the structure error, okay, which is the major part of research writing. If the tools are much more advanced and good enough to identify what is actually needed, it would be of great help to all researchers alike. Okay, so if the tools are more advanced, then definitely it will be helpful. Of course, we should not blame them. They have given tools in such a way that it can help us to a great extent, but still it has to be improved a little bit. Okay, then as said earlier, tools are just needed to assist or offer suggestion in the work, while the master craftsman is the learner himself. You are the master craftsman. Okay, by continuous reading and writing, knowledge can be enduring and it will also aid in flawless writing skills. Okay, language is all about creativity because most of you are language learners here. You have to understand that language is all about creativity. The more we read and the more we write, the better person we become with abundant creative power. Okay, you will get a lot of creative ideas and you have to understand that creative thinking and writing can aid as backbone in the research writing process. Creative writing is very, very important. It will aid you in the research writing process. Okay, so then I'll end my presentation and thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity given.
Thank you, Harshini ma'am. It was such a complete presentation, ma'am, focusing on all the subtle nuances of the language and all aspects of the language. And I'm sure that this presentation will be very useful, not only to the early career researchers, but to everybody, regardless of the stage they are in. Even for the professional writers, it helps us to kind of relook at our writing style because we have given the whole ambit of skills. Right